This week's episode of the Claflin Athletic Show features Dr. Arthur Doctor, Dean of Students. Support Claflin Athletics and see the show on INSiiGHTS Roku and mobile apps.
Went to college here at South Carolina State, graduated in 1992, and I've been here since 1992. And I started working at the Toyota dealership in 1992, and I've been there ever since. Now I'm the general manager, I run the store, and again, Claflin University has always given back to our dealership. That's why we want to give back to them. A great partnership, we love the partnership, we love Claflin University, and we will always support them.
Here's your softball update. The Lady Panthers are in Elizabeth City, North Carolina this weekend. The softball team plays Bluefield State 1:30 Friday and 4 o'clock against Lincoln. CIAA play continues Saturday at 11 against Elizabeth City State and at 4 versus Virginia State. Play continues on Sunday against Virginia Union at 10 a.m. and Bowie State at 12:30. Support your Claflin softball team while playing in Elizabeth City. The baseball upcoming schedule has the Claflin Panthers playing at 6 Friday in Americus, Georgia against Georgia Southwestern. On Saturday, the Panthers play them again in a 1 o'clock doubleheader. At 6 o'clock Tuesday, UNC Pembroke comes to historic Minnow Field to play the Panthers. Support Claflin Athletics and the weekly Claflin Athletic Show on INSiiGHTS Roku, also available on your iPhone and Android on INSiiGHTS mobile apps.
The 65th Administration. And I am Dr. Arthur Doctor, your Dean of Students. One thing we pride ourselves on here at Claflin University is our family environment. And we wanted to do something very special to welcome our first-time freshmen and transfer students to campus.
We have partnered with the JCS Project to provide you all with complimentary Claflin packages.
So on behalf of our Student Government Association, our Student Activities Board, and the Office of Student Engagement and Leadership, we wanted to give you something that's going to make sure you thrive this semester. So join us during lunch in Panther Plaza to get your Claflin-specific welcome package. See you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mickey Clayton, the coach with the Claflin Athletic Show. Brought to you this week with a special edition from Dr. Doctor. No, that's not a rap name. That's his name, Dr. Arthur Doctor, Dean of Students at the Claflin University. Welcome to the show, Doc. Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
I can't complain. You know, we're in the middle of the semester. The students just got back from spring break, and they are ready. And so we got a lot on the horizon.
Hey, when are the students not ready? Aren't they pretty much full go all the time?
I mean, this year, we've seen a new energy. These students this year have just been off the charts with the energy, but they've been ready to go from the minute they hit campus in August.
Oh, well, see, that electrifies the campus, doesn't it?
It definitely does. There's been an energy throughout the year. I think that it's permeated not only with the students, but it's spilled over to the faculty and staff. And so we're all reared up and fired up on campus these days.
Wow. Well, you kind of sound like you fired up anyway. You fit right there with them, don't you, Dr. Doctor?
I stay fired up. Every day I get to come to work and work with our phenomenal students, get the support of our extraordinary administration. It's always a good day on the Hilltop High. Okay.
Well, tell us a little bit about your experiences. First of all, congratulations. I hear you've been there now probably three years now.
Yes, sir. 3 years. 3 years. It's been 3 great and phenomenal years. Hit the ground running and have been able to really do some great work with the support of not only Dr. Warmack, but Dr. Durant, our Vice President for Student Affairs, to really transform and elevate our student experience on campus. And so, you know, post-COVID, what that has looked like has been a student body that has been wanting to be engaged and involved in their co-curricular experience. And we're doing all we can to ensure that they have a holistic, they're going to get a top 10 education at Claflin. We know that. We want them to also have a top 10 experience outside of the classroom. And we feel like we're definitely doing that through a number of the different programs and opportunities that we're offering through the office.
Okay, now I need you to delve a little bit deeper into the programs that you have.
Okay.
You kind of gave me the paintbrush, wide paintbrush of it, but kind of fine tune it some so that our viewers will know specifically some of the things that you're doing, and we'll use this as an opportunity to enlighten some that they might say, "Man, I might want to go to Claflin because I didn't know they were doing all that."
Absolutely. So we have grown the number of clubs and organizations that we have now today to over 50 student organizations that our students are able to, participate in, get leadership opportunities in. Our office also facilitates a number of leadership programs, not only for our student leaders, but also leadership opportunities for the wide general student body. And so those are different programs. We also are working with our Greeks. And so we are the only campus in the state of South Carolina, public, private, HBCU, PWI, that has active chapters of all 9 organizations in the Divine Nine. And so what you're seeing is just a flourishing campus community. We have some partnerships with different academic departments that lend itself to our students being able to blend and mix their classroom experience, but also with our co-curricular experience. And so we are partnering with our sports management department. We have student interns from that department working closely with some of our programs. We have students that are working in our marketing department, our mass communications department, that are doing some really good work with some of our programs in regards to utilizing social media to get the word out about our events. We have worked closely with our SGA and our Student Activities Board to really revitalize the jungle. And so we have created a game day experience for our men's and women's basketball team, our volleyball team, and really all of our athletic teams that is unrivaled within the CIAA. I don't know if if you were watching the CIAA tournament and our fan buses that we took up 2 buses of students to cheer on our Panthers as they competed in the CIAA basketball tournament. And the announcers commented that Claflin University had brought their home court advantage to Baltimore. And so that's the type of environment that we're trying to create on campus, to create the school spirit and create an environment and experience that our students are looking back on as well. The final piece is that we've launched our club sports. And so Claflin had not had club sports before. And so when you think about club sports, we often think about our varsity teams and our intramurals. Club sports is probably nestled right in between that. It's very competitive, non-scholarship athlete students, but they are, your general students who, may have played basketball competitively in high school or AAU. And we travel to play other schools. Other schools have come here. We hosted a tournament on our campus. And so both of those teams, our women's team started off and did really well last year. Our men's team is really rounding into form this year. And I have the pleasure of coaching our men's team. And so we're trying to do what we can to ensure that students at all points of our campus, we're reaching them and giving them opportunities to be involved.
Wow, boy, you said that so fast. I'm gonna need you to get some decaf. You gave me the real Cliff Note version at a high speed, boy. Yes, we're aware of the CIAA. INSiiGHTS was there. We covered it. We've done several shows about the CIAA. Actually had those students on a lot of our backdrops of what we did at the tournament and things like that. So, yes, sir, we know all about the legendary CIAA tournament and the outstanding participation and support that Claflin received. We've been talking about it nonstop on this show and on our other social media platforms ever since then. I mean, we've just really been proud of how Claflin has really stepped up in terms of how they supported their athletic teams during that time. Tell me a little bit. You said something about an active 9. One of the things, and you being the alpha that you are, is that one of the things that happens, and me being an advisor for Kappa Alpha Psi at one time on campus, I think part of it is to maintain that level of being active is to make sure we have guidelines in place that the chapters follow, and how do you go about being able to stay on top of your fraternities and sororities to understand the new way of pledging and what the universities and institutions cannot allow to happen on their campus? Well, you have to have some things in place. So tell us about some of that.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of pre and post education for our students. And so prior to any of our members joining, they attend what we call now NPHC convocation, which for our older Claflinites, it may have been the anti-hazing meeting that you went to prior to joining. And so what that does is not only inform students, one, about the organizations that we have on our campus, so their options in that regard, but two, what the university's expectations are in regards to the experience they should have while they're joining, but also after they've become members. We bring in speakers that have engaged with our students, not only prospective members, but current members of chapters as well, because our students know, and I think everybody, whether you're in a fraternity or sorority or a non-affiliated student, I don't play when it comes to hazing. We don't have, that's not a part of our experience here at Claflin. It's not a part of the experience when we talk about for the national organizations. And I've done a really good job throughout my career of building partnerships with the individuals that are representing these organizations on a regional, district, national level. And so they're one phone call away. We're able to, and I think when you have those relationships, not only with those individuals, but the relationships that I've been able to build with our chapter advisors, also our chapter leaders, I think our students need to realize they're in leadership positions as well. And so being able to have those relationships allows for there to be a respect, a mutual respect, not only for me, but for the university, and wanting to ensure that their chapters are able to be sustainable long-term, and how hazing is counterproductive to that. And so knock on wood, we haven't had any issues since I've been at Claflin. And I really, that's the expectation moving forward. No parent sends their student to school to join a fraternity or sorority, but also in the process of joining a fraternity or sorority, they should be able to know and sleep with comfort knowing that their student is having a positive, safe, and impactful experience that's going to allow them to become a better student, but also a better person overall.
Oh, amen to that. I appreciate what you said there, and it being counterproductive. And I just really appreciate the sincerity in what you said, because a lot of your experiences have dealt with Greek life on campus. So
absolutely,
it's allowed you to be able to have these type of relationships, and it's good to see you brought that to Claflin.
Absolutely. Whatever I can do, I'm always someone who's thrown myself into the campus environment and the culture. And I did not attend an HBCU. I went to school in South Carolina, but Claflin has always been a university that I've looked at and admired from afar. And to be able to be a part of this legacy and this great tradition here, I want to do my part to ensure that we uphold that, but also carry it on for the generations to come.
Kudos to that. We did see the Greek Day at the basketball game, and that it seemed like that went really well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So again, we talk about partnerships and collaboration across campus, and I am fortunate enough to work with some really phenomenal colleagues in athletics, our athletic department, all the way from Mr. O'Neill, Ms. Lee, Ms. McCullum, the coaches. We are all in this together, and so it started with Greek Day. Wanted to make sure we had a platform for our students to be able to display their pride in their Greek organizations, and it coincides with Black History Month. So it's another way for us to highlight another major part of Black history. And so our students were reared up and ready to go from the different organizations. And we were able to, it got the crowd excited, both the students and the alums and the general fans that were attending the game. And so definitely was a lot of back planning on the backside with myself, Ms. Lee, and Ms. McCullum in athletics, but definitely was something for our students to be able to showcase their pride in their organizations and really just display the excellence that is Black fraternities and sororities.
Well, one of the things that is a constant and consistent theme at Claflin is the unity between the staff and the administrators, and everybody pulling in one direction, all rowing that boat in the same direction. That's really admirable.
Absolutely.
You being involved with the game day experience, in my experience in coming down, it seems like it gets better and better each game, each year. You get in the jungle where it's becoming a dangerous place for people to want to come and play, because you get behind the teams so solidly. And we've had some of the students from the CAB and on here talking about it. Share with us some of the things that you do to help get that going for athletics.
Absolutely. So whether it is the rally towels or the pom-poms, and really we wanted to empower our students. I think when I first got here, the students were quiet at the games. They, would cheer if we were up, but, they wouldn't keep their energy throughout. And, we talked to our student athletes. We talked to our athletics staff about what we could do to help. And our student activities board, I just have to shout them out. Mahogany Loudon, Kofi Springs, Zabrion. I mean, those three are juniors, but they have been involved and engaged with student activities since they got to Claflin. And they just really, empowered them to take leadership on that. And they took the reins. They told me what the resources that they needed, and we made it happen. From chant practice to poster making sessions. And they're really right there in the throng of it. And sometimes you'll see me sitting on the front row of the jungle just to make sure they don't get too rowdy. But we have seen them really impact our team and give them the extra push they've needed to finish out games, but also consequently distract the other team for being able to stay focused on the game, and created really a safe hostile home court advantage for our team as we try to ensure that our men's and women's basketball team, our volleyball teams, all have an advantage when it comes to not only on the court, but also within the stands as well.
Doctor, you try to be so politically correct with your terminology. But I have to say, being a former head basketball coach, Division I institution, men and women's basketball, what Claflin has generated is a lot of times the fans wait for the team to energize them. Yep. But other times you need that home court advantage to energize your team. And there's been games that I've seen that we have won because of the energy that the fans generated. And it seems like I see that right there in Claflin. And that's admirable to see that happening.
Yeah, as we look, our expectation is that our men's and women's teams are, top of the CIAA, and they're going to do their job on the court. We have to do our job as fans to help push them over the top. And so I challenge our students all the time: be loud, be respectful, be loud, stay respectful, continue to be louder. And so I think, we've seen, I'll highlight the Benedict game. A lot was said about, the game last year when we went up there and their fans were, loud, and we were, in our seats. And I think their fans were kind of shell shocked when they came here this year to see, the jungle gets a little loud and it gets a little rowdy. And it's important for people that are coming here that are opponents to know that you're not only going to have to prepare to play our top tier basketball teams, you're going to have to prepare to navigate our basketball arena with our loud, passionate fan base as well.
Oh, you're gathering a reputation in the CIAA. I mean, and those fans are doing that. And I just think it's outstanding because it seems like you go through volleyball season, and man, it's just, I was hearing about you during volleyball season, and by the time you got to basketball, man, they went full bloom.
They were ready to go.
Well, tell us a little bit, because we did get a chance to have Mahogany on earlier. We had Perry Brown on, and he talked about the new facility you have. I understand you have a ribbon cutting ceremony coming up Friday, I think. Tell us a little bit about that.
Ooh, we are excited. Once again, I'm fortunate to be at Claflin, where we have just such a supportive administration. Starting at the top with Dr. Wormack, who was able to see a vision that Claflin University, with the world-class education and opportunities that they had, needed a student center, a place where students could gather, and that's going to be brought into fruition this Friday with our new student center. 85,000 square feet. Of just opportunities for our students to build community, find sense of belonging, and really, again, just continue to build pride in being a Claflin Panther. And so it has been a labor of love. I actually was over there this morning and have been there throughout the week. And I'm even getting more and more excited as we get closer and closer to Friday because, like I said, to see it go from being where the old basketball courts were to now you see a building there. Just the possibilities, the endless possibilities that we have with the facility to be able to just engage not only our students, but the Claflin and Orangeburg community is really exciting. And so we are ramped up and ready to go for this Friday.
Yes, it sounds like it, but I'm going to need to ask you to do something. Delve a little deeper in it. Tell us about some of the things that you have in there, some of the activities that you're planning, some of the, I'm just going to let you go because I've heard you got some pretty amazing things inside that building.
People will not have to go to Charleston or Columbia to watch a movie. I tested it out yesterday. I got to see a preview of a movie in the cinema, and I was absolutely floored. The sound, the experience in there is top notch, and it's comparable to any movie theater you would go to in any of those cities that I just mentioned. We have our esports gaming lounge, which we're excited about because it allows us to be at the cutting edge of, esports is really taking off across the country. And once again, Claflin wants to be at the top of those conversations, and we have a facility there that's going to be second to none. We talk about the largest ballroom space in Orangeburg County. So being able to seat over 800 at banquet style, over 1,000 people theater style. It's something that, once again, we talk about engaging the community and being able to be a part of the Orangeburg community. This facility is going to allow us to do that. Food and dining options, Qdoba, Papa John's. We have, obviously, our Starbucks, a convenience store for our students. And then we also have our student government and our student activities boards have office space and conference room in that building. So we were intentional about making the building a place that students would want to come and gather, students would want to come and be in, and just be in the space. And there's plenty of opportunities for them to do that as well.
Wow. I had heard about some of it, but not like the ballroom too.
Yes, ballroom. The largest ballroom in the entire Orangeburg County will be on Claflin University's campus.
Doctor, what are y'all going to do with that ballroom?
I mean, the possibilities are endless. You talk about the ability to bring in conferences or to bring in, organizations for their different events. Our student organizations being able to, the ballroom can be split into 3. So our student organizations being able to host programs and events in that space. And so once again, I think the Student Center is meant to be a convener. It is going to convene our campus. It's going to convene the community, and really I think it'll serve as a gateway between Orangeburg and Claflin University.
I knew you had a plan already, so I knew I wasn't throwing you a curveball. I knew you were ready to get it out the park. Wow, and the gaming lounge is going to be a popular place as well.
It definitely will be. So in addition to our game room, the esports lounge is going to be, you will have 14 stations. We're going to be building, will eventually come our esports team that will travel and play other schools and compete for cash prizes, compete for trophies and championships. And realistically, it started out that piece. Eric Miner was a student we had a couple years ago that won the NFL game day Madden challenge and was able to attend the Super Bowl based on his skills in esports. And he's actually a professional esports player now. And so being able to go from just having one student to now the possibilities of really being able to build an esports club and then team is just really exciting. There's just a lot to mention about the space, but that definitely is one of the highlights.
Wow. I was blown away about the movie. And then you've come and told me some more about it. Man, that is going to be really a special place.
I'm telling you, it's going to be the movie theater. I think people are going to be amazed. I think there are some skeptics to say, how is Claflin going to create an environment or experience that's similar to a movie theater? And I challenge them to go ahead and buy their tickets now, because there will not be an empty seat in the cinema because of the experience people will be having. And when word of mouth gets out, it's going to be one of the hottest tickets in town.
Oh, absolutely, because there's no movie theater in Orangeburg. You have to travel to go to movies.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now tell us about rumor has it that you fancy yourself a basketball coach.
Well, I've been blessed. God has blessed me throughout my life to learn and grow from a number of different experiences. But the one thing that taught me the most life lessons was being a basketball player. I played basketball year-round, whether AAU, high school, and then was fortunate enough in college to play on some really competitive intramural teams that traveled to regional tournaments, and was introduced to club basketball during my time at Emory University. Was able to start the program there, and it flourished, and did the same thing when I went to Ole Miss, and had some students who on campus, I, along with some of the other staff members, play pickup from time to time with students on campus, and had some students who just wanted to be involved in on campus in other ways than your traditional SGA or student activities board. And so we launched the club basketball team last spring, and like I said, it's taken off. We have been able to really play a number of different schools. We've beat Duke. We've beat UNC Charlotte. We've beat teams, large PWIs, HBCUs. We had Winston down here and sent them back to Winston with the loss. And so we're building a program here as well. Our club program is really growing and taking off, and we're seeing our student athletes, I call them, because they're still like athletes, just not scholarship.
Right.
They're buying into the program and buying into the culture we're trying to establish. And I talk to the young men all the time about the skills. Yeah, we're talking about basketball skills. We're talking about life skills, most importantly. And so we're excited about the future. We've joined a National Club Basketball Association. And so we will be playing in a league in the South Atlantic Conference of that association next year against some really quality schools and have the opportunity to compete at a regional, national level as well. So we're excited. There's a lot going on. And you know, I've learned a lot about myself coaching these guys as well. So it's been a learning process on both ends.
Okay, not trying to give you a trick question, but I know you have a plan. What's your plan for getting your women's club team going?
Yeah, so our women's team last year was very successful. They had some students, some players graduate. Their coach also is no longer at the university. And so we've tried to get them in the transition where we can identify a coach and an advisor for the team because the level of interest is there. So once we get that underway, the women's team will be back up and running as well. They had a few games this semester, but we're trying to get some consistent leadership in regards to the coaching staff so that they can be able to do that. I can't coach both teams. If I had a well of energy, I would. But we're definitely looking at to find options and opportunities for individuals who want to serve as a coach that are on campus to be able to coach and advise the team as well.
And see, all of this is only a small portion of what you do because you had the students over in Columbia for HBCU convention or something?
Yeah, HBCU Day at the Capitol. We had our Student Government Association leaders there representing Claflin, but really being able to learn about from legislators the impact that HBCUs have here in the state of South Carolina and their ability to be, change agents in their communities. And so I'm just really proud of our student leaders led by our SGA president, Jabez Robertson, and our SGA vice president, Amari Walker, and the work that they've been able to do to really galvanize their peers to really step up and take ownership of their experiences as well.
Wow, that's outstanding. I know that you had to be a little bit full of energy to do all the things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a small portion of the things that Doctor is involved with, because pretty much if it has to do with the students, you're involved with it to some degree.
I tell everybody, if it's anything outside of the classroom, more than 9 times out of 10, probably 11 times out of 10, I'm involved or I'm connected or I know what's going on. So it truly requires a lot of energy, but it's something that I love. It's a career and a passion of mine. And so no day is ever the same, which keeps my energy level up because our students bring their very best every day. And they present new challenges and new opportunities and really just are just great, just ambassadors, not only for Claflin, but really just what it means to be a college student today. And they make my job fairly easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. You hear it directly from the man himself who's doing all of this as a dean of students. And that in itself fills a plate up.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you being with us, Doctor.
Absolutely.
We wish you continued success in all that you're doing at Claflin.
Thank you so much. And we just continue to do our very best to ensure Claflin remains top 10 and keeping the hilltop high on an upward trajectory.
Thank you.
Right now, we have a few programs, fitness programs, from yoga to high impact to spin class. So I'm trying to make sure that all the equipment is up to date, make sure that the programs that we offer for the fitness are being utilized, and also hopefully in August I will be adding some more for next semester. But I'm definitely making sure the wellness center is up to date, so the kids and the faculty staff feel welcome when they come in. They know they got some good equipment. Nothing's broken down, and everything is up to par for them.
For a limited time only, the first 500 downloads of the INSiiGHTS app will get free premium content for life. Watch the Mick and Rick Show, Black History Moments, Remembering the Legends, INSiiGHTS Magazine, Faith TV, along with the Game of the Week series. See INSiiGHTS creative content with skits from the Church Sisters, students in generations and more. The INSiiGHTS app is on your Android and iPhone and is now being downloaded in countries worldwide.